Hey everyone, Busisaiwi here. Sometimes I think back to being a teenager and I'm struck by how much pressure there is on young people today. It feels like the world expects you to be acing your exams, maintaining a killer social media presence, and oh yeah, also figuring out who you are and what you want out of life. It's a lot. And it's no wonder that mental health challenges are on the rise among young people. So today, I want to talk about just that, the state of mental health among young people, the factors contributing to it, and most importantly, what we can do to support each other. So let's start with the facts. Recent studies have shown a pretty alarming trend. More and more young people are struggling with their mental health. We're talking about conditions like anxiety, depression, and just plain old stress, which, let's be real, can feel pretty all-consuming. The statistics are pretty sobering. About 1 in 5 young people experience a mental health disorder at some point. And as if that wasn't enough, the pandemic really decided to throw a wrench in things, amplifying a lot of these issues. It's like we were already playing life on hard mode, and then suddenly the difficulty level got cranked up to expert. Now, I'm not a psychologist or anything. I make YouTube videos, which sometimes feels like the opposite of being a mental health professional. But I think it's important to understand some of the factors that contribute to this mental health crisis. And honestly, a lot of it comes down to the world we live in. Let's talk about social media, for example. On the one hand, it can be a great tool for connecting with people and staying informed. But on the other hand, it's impossible to ignore the pressure cooker it can create. Constantly scrolling through curated feeds, seeing everyone else's highlight reels, it's a recipe for comparison and self-doubt. And let's not forget about the pressure to succeed academically. We live in a culture that often equates self-worth with grades and achievements. Add to that the pressure to excel in extracurricular activities, maintain a social life, and maybe even hold down a part-time job. And it's no wonder so many young people are feeling burnt out. Chapter 3, let's talk about it. Okay, so we've covered some of the challenges, but now let's shift gears and talk about solutions. And honestly, I think one of the most powerful things we can do is simply start talking about mental health more openly. For too long, it's been treated as something taboo, something to be whispered about in hushed tones. But the truth is, mental health is just as important as physical health, and it deserves to be treated with the same level of care and attention. When we create a culture where it's okay to not be okay, where people feel safe to share their struggles without shame or judgment, that's when real healing can begin. And it's not just about talking to friends and family, although that's incredibly important. We also need to make sure that young people have access to professional help when they need it. That means having resources available in schools, communities, and online. Chapter 4, taking care of your mental health. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Busisue, this is all great, but what can I actually do to take care of my own mental health? And that's a really important question. The good news is, there are lots of things, both big and small, that you can incorporate into your life to prioritize your well-being. First and foremost, remember that self-care is not selfish. It's not about indulging in bubble baths and face masks, although those things can be nice too. It's about making a conscious effort to engage in activities that nourish your mind, body, and soul. It's about setting boundaries, saying no when you need to, and prioritizing your own needs. It's about treating yourself with the same kindness and compassion that you would offer a dear friend. Chapter 5, you are not alone. Look, the bottom line is this. If you're struggling, you are not alone, and there is help available. Reach out to a trusted friend, family member, teacher, or mental health professional. Remember that asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. It takes courage to acknowledge that you're going through a tough time and to seek support. And to anyone watching who knows someone who's struggling, please be there for them. Listen without judgment, offer words of encouragement, and let them know that you care. Outro, keep the conversation going. So that's it for today's video. I know we covered a lot, but I think it's important to have these conversations, even if they can be uncomfortable sometimes. Mental health matters, and it's up to all of us to create a world where everyone feels supported and empowered to prioritize their well-being. Don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful, subscribe to my channel for more content like this, and be sure to share it with your friends, family, teachers, neighbors, basically anyone who will listen. And as always, thanks for watching. DFTBA.